Hi, Jonathan Williams back again at the Bricks and Mortar podcast. We've been talking about buy-to-lets, haven't we? And we're doing a top 10 on buy-to-lets and we're rushing through these. We're on to number 7, and this time what we're talking about is strategy. You have to have a strategy in place before you even start considering buy-to-let. And what do I mean by strategy? You need to understand what kind of tenant you're going to get. Do you go student? What about HMO? What about the employed market? And then what about those DSS people? There are probably 4. We'll talk about Airbnb at the end of the top 10. But let's talk about those 4. Let's talk first of all students. You will have seen tower rises going up all over Glasgow that are going to be accommodation blocks for students. So you might think, you know what, students probably going to want to have their digs there. But you'll be surprised, there's still a dearth of student accommodation and it's a lucrative market. You'll get your 12-month tenancy. Because tenants are not necessarily always wanting to live in a high-rise block, you've got a decent quality private rental accommodation, you shouldn't have any voids. You'll just turn it every September. HMOs. Now that's a different kettle of fish entirely. Regulation with HMOs. Yes, you'll be able to rent the rooms out individually. Yes, you'll get an absolute shed load of rent coming in, but you'll be regulated. Every couple of years you'll get the council crawling all over your property, making sure you've got this, you've got that, you've got the next thing. And you'll end up having to shell out a lot of money for HMO licenses. But again, it's lucrative. You might just want to go down the employed route. Nice and easy, not enough accommodation in central Scotland. It's going to work. And then the DSS. The difficulty with the DSS side of things is that you've got to try and ensure that the money comes to you before the money goes to the DSS tenant. Because any problems that I've had with the DSS is because the rental has gone from the council to the tenant and then hopefully to me. But there's people who swear by DSS. In fact, there's people who have got their whole property portfolio and they've never had a problem with any DSS. It's all to do with communication and making sure that you are on top. Make sure you get your strategy sorted out, because there's no point in buying a property that's miles from the university if you're thinking the student option's the one for you. Decide on the strategy and then go and buy the property. Jonathan Williams, it's the Bricks and Mortar podcast. It's a sideways look at property.